Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining me this afternoon. Today we are going to be discussing the real issues of dehydration, especially in the DD community, and of course the issue of dehydration in our own lives. So if this is your first live video with me, I'm Shar Meekins. I'm a developmental disability nurse with a desire and passion to make a difference in the IDD community through mentoring nurses, training staff, and supporting agencies and individuals with IDD. Chantel, great to see you joining me. So today we're going to talk about dehydration. Yesterday we started talking about the fatal 4 or 5 plus protocols that we develop for individuals with developmental disabilities. And these protocols are put in place so staff know how to support and look for signs and symptoms that can actually cause death. Yesterday we talked about aspiration and pica, and today we are talking about dehydration. So I have found that dehydration is a significant risk with many of our individuals. And let me just share a few of those. Number one, which isn't uncommon for even us, that many of the individuals I've served, they don't like water. They don't like to drink water. They would rather have pop or coffee. And so it really becomes an issue because they are not intaking enough fluids through their day to be able to remain hydrated. The other issues I've seen is they're on medications that cause dehydration. Maybe they're on my brain just went out the window. A medication to a diuretic, and so maybe they have a heart condition, and so they're flushing the extra fluid out of their body, and so that can cause dehydration. And so as a result, we've got low blood pressures, we've got fatigue, we've got dry skin, dry mouth, sores forming in the mouth, to dehydration. So how can we help our individuals, the individuals that we serve, how can we help them overcome dehydration without being nags, without constantly just, you need to drink, you need to drink, you need to drink. So let's be creative. One way might be those water, the flavor water drops are really popular, and they give a sense of, I give it a different taste, and it gives them maybe a flavor that they like. So thanks for joining me today. So Winter, I'm so glad you're enjoying these lives. This is great. So, add some flavor to the water so that can help them acquire a taste for water. And also it's really good to add taste to water, because if someone has dysphagia, I learned this a few years ago. If someone has dysphagia, they may have a weak taste. And so, and water doesn't have really any flavor to it. And they may not, their swallow may not even realize that water is going down. And so they end up coughing and choking while they're drinking water. So it's really important to keep give the water some flavor. And I miss you too, Winter. Russ, thanks for joining me. So what's another way we can help customers hydrate? Always offer water when you are administering medications. I just ask my staff to automatically bring water to them when they are administering meds. And then if they ask for something different, of course, we want to honor that choice, but I would rather that they at least attempt to give water with medications at least 3 times a day that they're giving meds. Another way, maybe if you put, here's a water bottle I have on my desk. So this is a little overwhelming, right? This is like 33, it's 1.5, almost 1.5 liters. So I keep this on my desk to refill my water bottle. But that would be really overwhelming to have next to somebody to think you need to drink all this, right? Even having a water bottle next to them, this size might be too large. So it would probably be better to have smaller water bottles that they see they're being successful in getting their water down. So Norma, I miss you too. It's fun to see everybody coming on. So this is what I've encouraged staff to do. I've encouraged staff to give smaller drinking glasses, whether it's 2 to 3 ounces or so that the customer can drink a full, up to 120 mLs of fluids, and then you can keep offering them more. Another thing that I love doing is, so I usually take my water bottle into the homes, and often if a customer does have a water bottle next to them, I won't even say anything about drinking. I'll just walk by and cheers, right? And often they will just pick up their cup and cheers with me, and we'll take a drink together. So making drinking fluids a positive experience. And another thing I love, especially doing this in the summertime, is if your customer, well, if you need to thicken it, that's fine, because you can make smoothies or slushes that is safe for them to drink, but it helps get the extra fluid in they need. So another reason our customers at risk of dehydration is because our customers have a tendency to like to layer their clothing. And so I've had customers that will wear 2 and 3 sweatshirts or a couple shirts and then put on a sweatshirt and then a coat. And sometimes, it could be 80, 90 degrees out. And so they're losing a lot of fluid in their body because they're sweating it out. And if we're not aware of how they're dressing and what's going on, then they can become dehydrated. Another example is our customers often like to, and maybe many of us, is pile on the blankets at night. And I've gotten phone calls in the middle of the night where they say, so-and-so has a fever. And so the first question I'll ask is, well, how many blankets do they have on? Because we just don't think about all the heat they're holding in when they're sleeping. So sometimes it's just an easy fix, but sometimes it's because we can't get fluid. We can't encourage them enough to get enough fluids in. I had a customer that really struggled with drinking fluids, and it wasn't uncommon to only take in 300 to 600 ml a day. And if you're not a ml person, so that would be like 300 would be 10 ounces. That would only be 10 ounces of fluid. Is that right? Yeah, it's really low. It's not enough to keep an ant going. And then other issues is then they have, if they have urinary retention, or if someone, has vomits a lot. There's so many issues, you guys. I don't even want to bore you with all of them, but I want you to be aware that dehydration's a real issue. And we need to be aware even of ourselves when we're working. I know if I end up at the ER with a customer I find myself not getting enough fluids during that stay, and usually the individuals on a bag of fluids getting their fluids. But think of those times when we're not getting enough fluids and to push forward to get those in. So dehydration can cause death. So it's an important issue to watch and to be aware. So tomorrow, let's talk about constipation. It's not the most fun, but if you've ever experienced or seen someone experience bowel obstruction, you realize how serious they really are. So tomorrow we'll address another fatal protocol, and I will see you then. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Bye.